Hello, my lovely people, and welcome back to our Forever World. Of course, this ain't Forever World. We're going to show you the Forever World. I'm just in this world so I can do my intro. But, yeah, we're going on from day 200 to day 300. This video is a bit shorter as I really did not have much footage for this this next 100 days, because it was a lot more of just building and building and mining and building. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see y'all when we're starting day 201. I decided to start mining a bunch of cobblestone, which I was going to need for some of my project, and I started to smelt it all so I can make some stone bricks, which was a lot of coal. So I decided to head out to find some more coal with this abandoned mine shaft that I found near my base. And after scrounging around a bit, going around the mountains and stuff to just grab every single piece of coal I can find, I found this cave right here, and when I was discovering it, I found something that was pretty awesome. Oh my god. I just found a zombie spawner like right next to our base. So after this lucky find, I decided to torch it up. I was going to come back to it in the future to make it into a farm. And this is the river that we're going to need to widen because of how thin it is. From here, see, this is where I had to block it off, because we're going to have it near there. We're going to move it this way.
Right.
And when I come this way,
yeah,
when I was having it, look at that. Look that way. No, wrong way. That way.
Oh god. Oh no. God.
Wait, now jump over this side, and now look deeper down.
Oh fuck me.
We're gonna torch
Christ.
all of that shit up, and like, we don't have to cover it up, but we're gonna have to torch it up, and we're gonna have to like fill it in a way to let the river pass on by. Now come over here. This is where we're connecting to. Literally just after this ravine.
No, for Pete's sake. Could that ravine be in any other spot?
Literally.
It's in literally the worst spot.
Worst spot it could ever be in.
Minor inconvenience. Well, see,
it's like, okay, I think we're overthinking it, because once we cover it up, we just need to like layer the outside of like the bottom of the river, and then it shouldn't be too
well,
bad.
hey, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
You ready for my idea?
We're gonna leave.
we'll forget about it. We'll come back to it later.
Phil is a member that I have added at day 200, and he's been helping me fill in a bunch of this dirt and also digging out to flatten out the land. And then as I was cleaning up the land, I noticed that he built something all the way over there, so I went to go check it out. I don't give consent to this.
Dig.
Why dig? Hey, don't get me wrong, I know you're digging, but dig. You know what? Just forget I even asked. After that little hoopla, I decided to go repair my tools at the farm, but I realized that like at this rate my farm is not as efficient as it should be. So I went around trying to see if I can make it a bit better, but I was failing miserably, and I just did not know how to make a farm. So after trying to make it, I realized that it was messed up. So I decided to go to the new monster spawner and decided to convert this one into like just making a whole new like mob farm, because I just gave up on the last one. And after a while, I made a pretty good one, I believe. Like, I mean, I gave it a little porch, and it's actually outside next to the mountain. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. So I decided to sit here and repair every single one of my tools. I also got myself to level 30, which I was able to enchant myself a diamond shovel, which got breaking free and efficiency free, so you know, I can't complain with that. Something while Phil's using my other shovel for now. And I decided to help him out flatten out the land because I needed all the dirt I can get. I also decided to move my treasury to the back of the temple because I wanted a place to store all my goodies. And I also got my cat Felu to stand guard in case they had any creepers that decided to wander into my treasury. So yeah, that was her job. Oh, she's so cute. After that, I decided to repair my tools again. It's just a big long cycle of just filling in, digging out, and repairing my tools. And then finally, after a bunch of days of just doing that, I decided to write down the coords for my Nether portal, and I start to head down towards the designated Y level that I want to like link my Nether portal at. And I decided to rebuild the Nether portal, and after a bit, it seems to work. And hopefully it stays working for the rest of this game. I started to make my way over back to the mangrove forest that I found, which took a couple of days, but once I made my way over there, I was going to plan on making myself another Nether portal so I could start traveling between both areas back and forth pretty easily, since I needed a lot of mangrove and mud for the projects I'm working on. So what I did was I built myself a Nether portal, and I was going to go into it and then build another room like I did for my other one and link myself over. And when I got in here, I realized that I spawned right next to a bastion, so you know, that was pretty nice. Next thing I did was I dug down to get to where I needed to. I also found some ancient debris while I was at it, which was pretty nice. I made the Nether portal, and to test if it worked, I realized that it didn't. And then this is when I realized that my math was completely off, so I had to go over back to the underworld and do this all over again, making a whole new room, making a whole new Nether portal, and then testing to see if this one works, and yes it did. So yeah, I was pretty happy that I didn't have to do this again. What I did next was I decided to mine a full inventory of mud, as I was going to need this for the next build that I was doing, which made me consider making a bunch of packed mud and then making a bunch of mud bricks, as I feel like that helps me with the type of style I'm going with. Then I started to do an outline of my shopping district that I was planning on building, and after that, the first layer I did of all the way around the gravel with mud bricks. Then I did cut sandstone to give it a bit more of the wall texture, and then I did the next third and fourth layer with smooth sandstone just to give it a nice like looking wall. And then for the roof, I decided to get a bunch of mangrove logs back from the mangrove forest. And just to take a little break from that, I started to work on the stone brick wall that I wanted to do around the mountain that was near our base. Next is I decided that I did not like this terracotta that I did for the ground, so I decided to mine it all out and replace it with stone. So, you know, that was a big arduous process, but at least Nova helped me with it, so thank him. Next is I started to prep on getting myself ready for the roof by putting these supports in, and then I also built these fences so whenever I place the villagers here, they won't be like, you know, wandering around. I then started to build the roof, and once I got something I liked, I decided to continue by filling in a bunch of the holes that were around the area because I wanted to try to make it as flat as possible. And after the third time, I remodeled this to make it more of like a dirty pathway because I didn't like the stone either. I also made a big wheat farm so we can fund for that pathway. And I also started to terraform a little bit around my little storage room and also built up the stone bricks just to get a little bit more done with terraforming so it can start looking more cleaner. And I also got a new friend on the game, which is Blue. And Blue is going to be living near the wheat farm as they are going to be tending the wheat farms. And after that, I got their house done, so now they have a place to stay. And we also got another friend next to Blue, and that is Lava, and he's going to be working around near the farm as well, so I gave him some resources to help him make his house, and he's going to make it really similar. And now we have two buddies here. And with the help of our newfound friendships, I was able to start contributing more to the Mud Brick Road. And by the end of this, we're going to have this thing fully built around. So me and Lava, we went to the mangrove forest to start clearing out some of the roots and digging out more of the mud. And we kept on doing this until we had at least each of us full inventories of mud blocks, so we can start, you know, making those packed mud and mud bricks that we need. So yeah, we now have a lot more building resources for the future projects of this world. And with that, Lava also showed me their little menagerie of pets, which was cute. He also brought a white frog from the mangrove forest, so that was nice. And after a little bit of combining wheat and mud, we were able to make all the mud bricks that we needed to fill in all of this pathway. And with that, after sleeping this night, I can successfully say that we made it to day 300.